small forwards in today's NBA. Next Sunday will be the sort of finale, I guess, of the sort of weekly top 10 videos I've been restarting on my channel. If you didn't know, I've done these before in the past, couple years ago, I think two-ish, maybe a year or two ago. But I just recently started them again for the upcoming year. That looks like it's one word. That's so bad. I'm so sorry. anyways, yeah. I did the top 10 for my point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centers a couple years ago. I'm redoing them this year for this upcoming season. I've done all of them, but small forwards and point guards. I feel like point guard is probably the more harder one to do, so it's probably the one that you guys all want to see the most, and I'm waiting for the last one to do. So next Sunday or Saturday, probably Sunday, will be top 10 point guards. Today is top 10 small forwards. Before we get into that video, or this video, sorry, I posted a video yesterday talking about the NBA free agency, talking about sort of what went down, trades, signings, where I think people should or shouldn't go, different things like that. So if you missed yesterday's video, last night's video, please go check it out. It was a lot of fun, very relaxing, nice video. So now, getting into this video, before I start all of my top 10 videos, I say this disclaimer. I am a nobody. My say in where players are placed means nothing, absolutely nothing. I make videos to relax and entertain people, not because I'm some sort of expert reporter. Any of these players can shift around in any sort of order. You can think the best player is the worst player is the best player. It doesn't matter. That's your opinion, and that's awesome. I love hearing people's opinions. So, I love to hear other people's list. And obviously just be respectful towards me, other people in the comments. This is all just for fun. So, with that being said, let's start off with number 10 on my top 10 small forwards list. Also, these players are going to be based off of their ESPN positions, where they are posted on ESPN, plus some players are, true positions. So, let's just say if Paul George made this list, Paul George is listed as a shooting guard. He played shooting guard for the Clippers, but his true position is small forward. Same thing with Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum played power forward in the league last year, but his true position is small forward, so he's going to be a small forward, in my opinion. So, now, number 10. Sorry, I'm trying to close this. I'm trying to be very quiet with it. On my list, I have a little Sharpie pen to write with and a regular, nice Ticonderoga pencil to write with as well. We're gonna start with the Sharpie, and I have my list right here on my phone that I've been looking over the past couple days, and I think at number 10, in my opinion, is a pretty decent one. A newcomer on my list. It was actually kind of hard to think of players to put on this list. Going into next season, this player has had a lot of buzz, and a lot of people are trying to get him, but he's staying where he is right now. And I am going to go with the man who scored an insane amount of points for the Indiana Pacers in the bubble. And I think it's WARREN. DJ Warren from the Indiana Pacers. Now let's look up right now DJ Warren on ESPN. He is definitely very low on the list, and it was kind of very hard to pick between, obviously we all know the top, sort of 5, 6, 7 small forwards on this list are pretty much set in stone on who they are, but after that, it gets very rough to know where other players are. There's obviously a lot of really good small defensive small forwards and really good offensive small forwards, and there's sort of the in-between. And I feel like DJ Warren is a very good in-between small forward. And like I said, going into next season, I feel like he's going to have a lot of buzz and a lot of push, in my opinion, being the number 1 scoring option on the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, we know Victor Oladipo is still on the team, but make sense. And Sabonis isn't a sort of go-to scorer in my opinion. So with the buzz TJ Warren put up against, a lot of the teams in the bubble sort of restart that he did, he was scoring like 50 points in bunches in the bubble. But even in the playoffs against a dominant Miami Heat team, he was still averaging, I'll say, about 22 points per game against, obviously Jimmy Butler was guarding him that whole time. It was pretty tough, but he's obviously put up, 39-point games, 32, 34, a 53-point game. Absolutely insane. And obviously I just feel like going into next season, with the whole Victor Oladipo fiasco that went on, I think TJ Warren is going to be their go-to perimeter scorer. Now, number 9, in my opinion, is, gosh, this guy used to be just such a go-get-him type of player, and a very big player I am still very much rooting for, being a guy whom I very much look up to when it comes to sort of sharing mental health for athletes, because obviously being an ASMR channel, I very much appreciate people who, help out with the whole mental health community and trying to improve people. And that is, if you didn't know by that, sort of hint is, I think it's capital M, DeMar DeRozan. Is it A-N? DeRozan? I think it's A-N. A lot of these I just sort of have to guesstimate on, but number 9 is DeMar DeRozan, and I know it's kind of low, but again, he had a very rough season last year, and I think also going into next season, he's going to struggle a little bit as well. So, obviously, as DeMar DeRozan ages, his sort of value is going to go down, because we all know DeMar DeRozan has been some sort of a more athletic style dunking type of shooting guard / small forward. He's been playing small forward a lot more, obviously being traded to the Spurs, but he averaged 22 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a pretty solid stat line in my opinion. 24th in PER as well, so that's also very good. Let's see, let's check his last couple games he played in the bubble, because obviously the Spurs didn't make the playoffs in the first time in like 21 years. It's been crazy. But you see games here of 27 points, 30 points. The only thing you really nag on DeMar DeRozan's not being that great of a shooter in a shooter league now, which is why I rate him very much lower on this list. Plus, not the greatest defender anymore. Again, rating him lower on the list, but this man can still be a walking bucket, getting you 30 points any given night, which I absolutely love. One of the best mid-range scorers in the game for sure. Plus, I just said 5.5 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists again. He does a little bit of everything as well, which is really good. If you look at three-point percentage, though, 25%. In 2007-2018, he shot 30%. In 2015-2016, he shot 33%. So he shoots around 30% for a career average, which definitely isn't bad. But you look at his free throw percentage, 84%. He's going to the line a lot. He's going to the rim a lot. So that sort of makes up for his sort of lackadaisical shooting performances. He also averages a steal a game as well, which is really nice, and almost a block. So he is a very athletic, high sort of, what I want to say, a motor guy. He's going to give you a lot of effort, and I love that about DeMar. He definitely deserves to be on a winning team. I think he will get some time in the year traded or sort of bought out of the Spurs, probably for like a young asset or something like that for the Spurs organization. So I love DeMar. I feel like he needs a little bit more of a push, but if he gets a good jump shot, he can go places, and I'm very excited about that. So DeMar DeRozan, number 9 for me. And at number 8 is man, this is actually kind of a tough sort of spot in my opinion, because I used to be a very big fan of him before he moved to teams and sort of started to become a little bit more of a cockier of a player, but two-way players in the game, can give you really, really, really great defense, and I love that. Which is why obviously I rate him higher than DeMar and TJ Warren. He's definitely a better defender than TJ Warren. He's a better outside shooter and maybe all-around scorer than DeMar DeRozan is. So definitely ranking higher than these two players. But we all know the small forward list is very stacked up high, and I don't know if he sort of, ranks up with the guys I'm going to say ahead of him. The people ahead of him, at least in my opinion, are a lot better in certain other categories than Paul George is, but Paul George, in my opinion, is probably maybe one of the best all-around players in the game, and he can be. I'm obviously not going to give the entire sort of letdown of Paul George be his playoff performances, but we do have to talk about it. Not the greatest, in my opinion. He does come up short a lot in different situations, but obviously talking about the regular season, it's something to be more thought of, I guess, because it's obviously more games and things like that. But in the regular season, he averaged nearly 22 points per game, nearly 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. 4 assists, 6 rebounds, my bad. So in the regular season, he's an absolute stud, and we talked about the season before. Let's see how much he actually averaged. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, he averaged 28 points per game. My God, 2 steals a game. My God. He went absolutely berserk in OKC. He played really good, 38% from 3 as well. But that was him being arguably the best player on that team with Russell Westbrook. Obviously, him and Russell Westbrook were very good of a duo. But coming to the Clippers, having to take a big step back from being the man on the sort of scoring end to now being the sidekick, the Robin to Kawhi Leonard, which it should be, in my opinion. So maybe if Paul George was maybe on a team by himself, again, like a Pacers or maybe even a Thunder team, he would be higher up on this list. But again, him being on a team where his talents aren't being highly used, plus had a very big setback coming into this next season, which you have to be reminded, this is going into next season. I feel like he's going to take another little bit of a slide. But I do believe in Paul George. Paul George, like I said, I keep saying he's one of the best two-way players in the game. We all know that. And I have a lot of comments, and Paul George is going to come back, obviously, from this sort of memeing of him being, playoff P, pandemic P, and stuff like that. I bet it won't get to him, and he's going to have another fantastic season. So he's definitely still very highly rated on my small force list. But having another really great player who plays a lot like him next to him, but better, he's not going to be obviously very high on my list. So Paul George, I think, is somewhere between 5 and 8 is like a perfect spot for him, in my opinion. Next up on my list is number 7. And at number 7, I can make this a little bit bigger. Sorry if I'm writing kind of small, but sometimes I write them too big. At number 7 is a player who I can see being a very good player on a lot of really good teams, and he has been for a while. He's a all-star player almost every year, it seems like. But it is the small forward from the Milwaukee Bucks, and that is Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton. Let's do this real quick. Chris Middleton of the Milwaukee Bucks. Sorry, this is kind of hard to see. I'm always really bad at sort of focusing things on here, but Chris Middleton on the Milwaukee Bucks is a almost perfect sort of piece. Now, you can argue Chris Middleton being higher up on this list. He averaged 21 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 25th, top 25 in PER, which is super crazy. Something I didn't really even think about a lot of. Let's take a look at his stats for other statistics. He averaged for almost 50% shooting from the field, 41% from 3, 91% from the free throw line this year. My God, he's an absolute shooting monster for sure. But he also plays great defense, average steal a game as well. Definitely is going to use his body. He has great movement. Like I said, he's a great two-way player, one of the best 3-and-D players in the league for sure. But obviously playing alongside Giannis and not really being able to be super athletic and not a very good facilitator, I really take a couple knocks off of him sort of being up higher on my list. I think he's a great shooter, a great defender, but that's all he can really do. So again, pretty much knocks him a little bit off my list, but also going into next season is why I can even argue Paul George even being higher up on him. Paul George being higher up than him is that the Milwaukee Bucks now have Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday. In my opinion, I think Drew Holiday is probably going to be the new sidekick to Giannis, and I think Middleton is going to be the third option. So with Middleton being in that third option, I really think that he's going to take maybe even a bigger hit. Will he still be able to average, 20 points per game, really good shooting numbers? I think yes, but he's going to be, a lesser to Drew Holiday and Giannis, obviously. So you can argue Chris Middleton even being lower on this list, but I have confidence that he'll still be obviously a great three-point shooter. He's going to get a lot of open looks now with Drew Holiday looking out for him. A better point guard than Eric Bledsoe, but it's true. So maybe life will be easier for him and he can even do better, and that's totally fine. But I think 7, I think same thing with Paul George, I think 8 to 5 is sort of like the range for Chris Middleton, and I think it's a pretty good spot. Number 6 again. Number 6 is going into next season, which I always have to say, is a player that is going to be on the rise. He's technically not a part of this team anymore because he is a restricted free agent, but I'm assuming he's going to get signed to a big, fat, juicy max contract, and that is going to be Mr. B.I. himself, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram. BRANDINGRAM. I think that's how you spell it. If not, I'm going to be looking very stupid. I just looked at it. Let's see. Yep, Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. Sorry if you guys can't see this. I'm trying to make sure you guys can. Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. Number 6, I feel like it's a very good spot for him. This past season, he averaged nearly 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. A humongous jump of a player this year to last year. I think he even won Most Improved Player, in my opinion. I think he did, but you could have argued a lot of other really great players. Let's see. Also, he averaged a steal a game as well, and almost a block a game, which is really nice. 85% from the free throw line. The year before, he averaged 67. So 67 to 85. Super dumb, crazy improvement. Also, 33% from 3 to now almost a 40% three-point shooter. Absolutely insane, and almost a 50% field goal percentage at 46.3. All doing this under 33 minutes. Absolutely insane of a young talent. And going into next season, I think he will have another really big jump. Now adding a more, hopefully, knock on wood, a more rotation-ready Zion Williamson. Having hopefully a more game-ready Lonzo Ball. Having Steven Adams to be more of a defensive anchor for them and a pretty good facilitating center. Brandon Ingram, I feel like, is just going to get better at being probably, at least in my opinion, the go-to perimeter guy for the Pelicans. Obviously, Zion is going to be the go-to man when it comes to lobs and looks and things like that, but when you need a bucket, you go to this man, Brandon Ingram, and he's going to give you a bucket. He is definitely the, the off-brand version of Kevin Durant. We all know that. We all sort of make jokes about that for sure. And I think, again, 5, I don't think you can push him past 5 because these next 5 are solid. So I think 6 is the max for Brandon Ingram. Anywhere 6 to 8, these 3 guys, you can really, is Jayson Tatum. And number 4 is going to be another player we're going to be talking about very soon, but we're going to start out with Jayson Tatum. Now, obviously, being a top 5 player in any position means you are one of the best players in the world, no doubt about it. And going into next season, Jayson Tatum is that. Jayson Tatum is going to be the best player on a championship-winning team. I totally believe that. Jayson Tatum is a dominant scorer in the league already, and I absolutely love his game, and his demeanor towards the game is amazing. He averaged nearly 24 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Let's check out some of his more different stats. This is only, my God, this is going to be his 4th year in the league. Year 4, already top 5, at least in my opinion, top 5 for sure. He also averaged 1.5 steals, almost a block as well, 81% from the free throw line, 40% from 3, and also 45% from the field. Absolutely dominant. And I really want him to push him over to number 4, but the Boston Celtics have not confirmed, at least to my knowledge, that he will play small forward predominantly next year. Obviously, with Gordon Hayward signing with the Charlotte Hornets, I have a feeling Tatum is going to be now the starting small forward. And before seeing him play, I'm going to put him at a nice, safe 5. But my God, he can be number 4. He can maybe even jump to number 3. Probably not. Obviously, because top 3 is very, very, that's very generous. But 5, I think, is a perfect spot for him, 5 and 4. If he does get to be able to finally play against players more his size, because I'll be playing power forward, it was probably really hard for him to sort of guard those type of players and sort of exhaust himself having to bump around with those bigger forwards. He's only, 210 pounds. Power forwards are probably around like 230, 240, 250, so it's probably very tiring on him. Plus, he's arguably their best perimeter defender. He's guarding the best team's best perimeter player. He has a lot of duty to do, but I have a lot of faith in him. And at number 4 is the player I was very much sort of battling myself with in my own head. And at number 4, and I think the only reason why I really set this player over Jayson Tatum is not only because he's been doing it for a longer set amount of time, he's a better perimeter player, and you could even argue after seeing Jimmy Butler's performance in the finals, going up against LeBron and that crazy Laker team, putting up triple doubles in the NBA Finals on LeBron James and the LA Lakers. I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler is barely, slightly, smidging. This could be 4A and 4B in my opinion, but I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler at number 4. No disrespect to Jayson Tatum, but Jimmy Butler is an absolute animal. Let's take a look here at some Jimmy Butler stats for last year. Obviously, the sort of regular season was very nice for Jimmy Butler. Averaged 20 points per game, 7 rebounds and 6 assists, very good. 11th, almost top 10 in PER, which is a great stat to look at. So sort of how our team is using a certain player. He also averaged only 25% from 3, which is pretty bad in my opinion, but he makes that up a lot with going to the free throw line nearly 10 times a game at 83%, which is amazing. Also averaging nearly 2 steals a game and nearly a block as well. Super efficient and great player in my opinion. Almost 46% from the field goal range as well. Now, if you want to look at something scarier, look at his playoff numbers this year. Man, I wish I could look at just finals numbers, but also basically the same. 2 steals, a block a game, 86% from the free throw line, 35% from 3. So in the playoffs, he was even a better, more efficient scorer from 3, and nearly 50% from the field during that time. So I just love Jimmy Butler's game so much. And in the finals, like I said, let's look up some of his final game logs. He put up 35 points, 22 points, 40 points, 25 points, 23 points, 9 assists, 13 assists, 11 assists, 12 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 11 rebounds. My God, all doing this while guarding and playing up against LeBron Miami Heat series. Jimmy Butler went through a gauntlet last season in his sort of playoff run, and I'm rewarding him with the number 4 spot. A very tough choice. 3 and 2 are players you can switch around very easily, but this player at number 3 is going to be very, 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 very tough to please, probably to a lot of different people, and that is because this player has not played basketball in over a year. Could that be to his advantage? I'm not entirely sure, but Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is a safe number 3 spot. Man, I really want to put Kevin Durant too. And if I watch the first Nets game and Kevin Durant looks like 80% of himself, I'll instantly put Kevin Durant at number 2 instantaneously, because Kevin Durant is an absolute monster of a player. And I do know that. I've watched, obviously, Kevin Durant nearly his entire career. And I really hope that him and Kyrie Irving sort of find a good match together this upcoming season. In the 2018-2019 season, he averaged 26 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, 20th in PER that year as well. Let's see here, stats. In that season, he also averaged 35% from 3. The prior year, 2017-2018, he averaged nearly 42% from 3, 88% free throw shooter, 52% field goal percentage. Probably, maybe, arguably the most efficient and percentage-loving scorer in the entire NBA. He can get a bucket from anywhere, and it's terrifying. He also averaged a steal a game, a block a game as well. Kevin Durant, obviously, over the years we saw, not only is he a great scorer, in the past 3 years, he has elevated his game to an elite level. He is a very smart player now, and it's very scary when he gets in a zone, which we've seen in the NBA Finals, obviously against LeBron's Cavs team. He can lock down some of the best players in the world when he really puts his mind to it. It's definitely terrifying. It's just, obviously, the only thing is, obviously, being a long, lengthy, not so meaty of a player, that leg injury is going to probably feel a little bit weird for a while, especially playing a lot of high energy basketball. Only 72 games this year plus the playoffs. It's a very condensed season. He's going to have to play very hard basketball. And with the Nets, I don't want to see a Clippers 2.0 of the Nets, where the Nets play, Kevin Durant and Kyrie only play, let's say 30 games together, and then the playoffs come around and they don't know how to play and mesh together, and boom, they get knocked out of the first, second, third round of the playoffs when they should be in the finals. So, I'm putting Kevin Durant 3 right now. That's my safe zone, my safe spot. That is literally that's the floor. That is the base of Kevin Durant is 3. There's no way, I don't think, in my opinion, that Jimmy Butler or Jayson Tatum play better than Kevin Durant. But if Kevin Durant, his first game, comes out ballin', boom, I think he instantly comes between player 1 and player 3. So, I love me some Kevin Durant. But player 2, obviously, had a pretty great season, not gonna lie. And at player number 2 is arguably, just like Jimmy Butler, the best perimeter defender in the entire NBA. Kawhi Leonard. It is KAWHILEONARD. Kawhi Leonard. Now again, I love Kawhi. I love Kevin Durant. These two are very switchable. It just depends on how Kevin Durant plays when he does play. And I do have a lot of faith in KD. I think he can do amazing. But Kawhi Leonard still is, in my opinion, the best perimeter player, defender, whatever you want to say, in the entire NBA. This past season, he averaged 27 points per game, which was 8th in the entire league, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and almost 27 PER, which was 6th in the league. Very high efficient player that was used a lot in the Clippers' sort of also averaged 47% from the field goal range, 38% from three, which from Kawhi, that is chef kiss amazing. That's exactly where you want Kawhi to be. 88% from the free throw line. My God, isn't he just becoming a great scorer? It's just beautiful to see. He also averaged nearly 2 steals a game, and nearly a block as well. Every year, he's been getting better and better and better. Yeah, we went from averaging, 21 points per game to 25 points per game. Then he got hurt, and then he averaged 26 points per game, then 27 points per game. Maybe this next year he'll come out and score 28 like at this trajectory. It looks like that's going to be what's going to happen. Now, I do love Kawhi Leonard, and I do feel like he definitely deserves to be number 2. He is a great perimeter defender all time. He is now a great scorer, can score from anywhere from 3 to 2. He's not arguably, he is the best mid-range shooter in the entire NBA. My God, if he played in the 90s or the 2000s or any era, he'd be an amazing player. He's super athletic, can get to the rim anytime. He has a lot of great posterizing dunks for sure. Not the greatest facilitator, but gets the job done, and he's very smart. But ain't no man on the planet Earth can do it like LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron James, in my opinion, is still the number 1 small forward in the entire league. LeBron James is not known only and an amazing scorer, and an amazing defender when he wants to be, an amazing top all-time talent on the facilitating end. But what he has on Kawhi that he does not have is a voice, and the best floor general on any team in any sports is LeBron James. LeBron James can take a team of middle school players to the playoffs. I guarantee it. LeBron James can carry a franchise, a team, just with his voice, and the way he empowers players is absolutely amazing. If Kawhi Leonard had that, he would, no doubt about it, be the best player in the league. But the fact is that he can walk the walk, but he cannot talk the talk, and the way he doesn't make everyone around him better is probably the Kawhi Leonard's biggest weakness. Obviously, we saw that in the second round of the playoffs. The Clippers very much fumbled and flopped and fumbled the bag, obviously, on that. I'm not holding out against Kawhi. I think Kawhi still played great in that series. But Kawhi was doing it all on his own and not really making it a team game, which is obviously very hard to do in basketball. So LeBron this past season averaged 25 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. He was first ranked in assists, 12th in points, and 7th in PER. Absolutely an animal. Just beyond crazy for sure. Let's see his stats as well. He also averaged almost a block a game and a steal a game as well. Let's see the free throw percentage, 69%. Let's round it up to 70. How about that? He also shot 35% from 3, which is something that was pretty immaculate from this year from LeBron. LeBron was pulling up like Damian Lillard, Logo Lillard type of threes. He was hitting them bombs in the playoffs and the finals. He was hitting them deep threes, which is terrifying. If you can get LeBron shooting threes like that, and it looks like that's where his game is sort of headed to now. He also shot 50% from the field goal, which is absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at his postseason stats as well, because obviously LeBron in the playoffs is another animal. He averaged in the playoffs 28 points per game, over a steal a game, a block a game, 8.8 assists, and 11 rebounds. In the playoffs, he shot 72%, which is obviously better than regular season. And in the playoffs, he shot 37% from 3. So even in the playoffs, he's still a better player. And guys, this man almost shot 60% of his shots.